Hey, my name is Nick Sadler from the Label Machine, and today we're going to talk about why you need to start a company for your record label. Okay, before we get started, I want to explain what I mean by starting a company for your record label. What I mean is actually registering a business in your local state or country under your record label name. So if you're in the US, this would be an LLC. If you're in the UK, this would be a limited liability company. I think in New Zealand and Australia, it's the same. It's a limited liability company. The point is, wherever you are, you're setting up a business in your local state or country. All right, now we've got that sorted out. Let's jump into the 3 different reasons why you need to do this. Before we crack on, if you like what you're seeing here in the video, make sure you click on the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this on how to start, run, and grow your own independent record label, hit that subscribe button too. The first reason is protection. As a record label owner, registering your company is hugely important in terms of protecting yourself. If you run your record label without protection, then you leave yourself risking personal liability. So let's look at a fictitious example of how being unprotected might affect you. So there's an artist called Verity Bright, and she's a recording artist, and every day she goes to her studio to work on her upcoming EP for her label, Bright On Records. Verity Bright has not registered Bright On Records as an LLC. One day, on her way to the studio, she opens the car door as a bicyclist speeds past and out of nowhere goes straight into her open door. The cyclist decides to sue Verity to court for $2 million. Uh-oh. Unfortunately, the cyclist wins. As Verity does not have an LLC company, her personal assets such as her home and car are not protected, and she has to sell them to pay for the damages. Now, if Verity had registered Bright On Records as an LLC, then she herself as an individual and her personal assets, her home, her car, etc., would have been protected. It would have been the business assets that were liable. So if the company was worth $200K, then it would be asked to liquidate the company, but her personal assets would be protected. Win. The second reason you want to register your label as a business is legitimacy. So reality for everyone is significantly influenced by one's perception, and this doesn't include managers, agents, writers, or other record labels. When anyone sees an LLC company name in the signature in an email that they received from you, or a message from a customized email address like artist@companyname.com, the first impression that the receiver gets is legitimacy and authenticity. This increases the esteem or the value that the receiver places on you and what you have to offer. It signals dedication and attention to detail. However, this doesn't guarantee everything is going to run smoothly or even that you get the reply that you want. Just think of it as a plus for both your industry and beyond. The third reason to set yourself up as a company is motivation. Motivation and self-investment are 2 things anyone intends to start and run a business will require. It takes ambition and self-belief. However, you can set yourself achievable goals. For example, registering a business in some states will cost around $400 annually. So for that first year, you can set yourself a target of at least $400 profit, which is likely achievable and will spur you on to your bigger goals. All right, now we know why we want to be doing it. What are some of the situations that you need to look at for yourself as an individual? If you already have an accountant for your personal accounts, then speak to them first, as they'll be able to set up a company for you at a similar price, as they'll have all your details, and it should be relatively straightforward. So one exception to not setting up a record label company as a legal entity is if you're an artist looking to release a single project. In this instance, you would create a vanity record label to release a one-off project such as a single or as an album of your own music as an artist, and there's no one else involved. You're not signing anybody else's music. Now, if this is the case, an artist can act as a sole trader, and any money or music registrations are with their personal accounts. So in this instance, you can use a PayPal account for most of your record label accounting. Another option is you can set up as a sole trader and do a doing business as, otherwise known as a DBA in the US, or trading as, or TA as it's known in the UK. What's important with any of this is that the name needs to be reflected in your recording contracts and your invoices. So for instance, if you're a sole trader, then your accounts need to say Nick Sadler trading as the Label Machine Records. Otherwise, if it was just registered as a company name, the Label Machine Records Limited, then that would be what I would put on the contracts alone. Okay, so how are we going to set all this up? Well, to set up a record label as a legal entity, you're going to need to register it as a company. And you can usually set up directly with your local governments, but it can be quite technical, and I'd highly recommend using a specialist service company to do this for you. While they charge a fee, you'll be safe in the knowledge that everything has been done legally, and it will save you an admin headache. If you're in the US, popular online services to use are LegalZoom.com and SwiftFilings.com. Each state uses a different pricing model, but you'll be looking at approximately $200 to form your record label company. In the US, you also need to get an EIN number, which is a federal tax number needed to identify your business. Now, don't use the service company to do this. Apply online directly at the IRS website. You'll have your EIN in minutes. It's very easy to do, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. When you have your record label LLC and an EIN number, you can set up a business bank account. It's easier to set up a business bank account with who you already do your personal banking with, but if they do not offer business banking, Chase is a popular bank for business bank accounts in the US. If you're across the Atlantic in the UK, popular online services to use are companiesmadesimple.com and firstformations.co.uk. In the UK, you can set up as cheaply as £5, but for a more comprehensive setup, it's going to cost around £50. Now, a little tip here that sometimes trips a few people up. When you are going through the formation process in the UK, you'll be asked information about shares. You want to choose 100 shares at £1 each for an aggregate nominal value of £100. You'll then need to choose your standard industrial classification, otherwise known as an SIC code. So for a record label, you're going to use 59200, which is for sound recording and music publishing activities. Once you have a company, you need to choose and set up a business bank account for your record label. HSBC is a popular choice, as is Barclays. If you're in the UK, there's a great option now available from a company called Tide. They will set up your company for you. They'll even pay the £12 fee, and you'll also get online banking. They're really awesome. Unfortunately, if you're in the US, it's not available yet, but I'm sure it will be coming shortly. And I'll put a link to the company below in the description. All right, now you should have a good understanding of why you'd set up your record label as a company, what options are available to you, and how you would set it up in both the US and the UK. If you like what you saw today, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Until next time.